What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? My name is Bill. Welcome to KO Bets. We got some serious stuff going on tonight. Today I had a outing, so I was at that. Your host is a little under the influence, but passionate and ready to present. NFT update. I got 50 subscribers. I appreciate everyone supporting the channel. I'd just like to point out that I do have 50 subscribers. Now, I was trying to determine how to randomly select a winner of the contest. And I'm struggling a little bit to find a method of doing that. So I just kind of want to share the screen here. We did hit 50 subscribers. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can see we hit it. But I found comments randomizers. I'm not finding anything related to subscriber randomizers. So I think I'm going to announce the winner on Sunday is what I'm going to do. I'm giving away one of these bad boys, a UFC strike moment. I do have quite a few of them. I'm still waiting for an account consolidation, just merging another account that I have over. I have, I think, 9 more in there, but yeah, I just want to give back to people that are supporting the channel. If you want to qualify to win, just subscribe. I think that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to just randomly select a subscriber every single milestone. So the next one we're going to do at 100 subscribers, but I just want to say thank you for subscribing. And if you're not already, do it. Alright, we got to recap Grasso against... So I was calling her a Rojo last weekend, but what were they saying on the broadcast? Like Araujo or something like that? There was like a D, or there was like a consonant that didn't exist between the A and the U that they were pronouncing, like Araujo or something like that. It just seemed like something wasn't supposed to be there. But we had a fantastic card betting. If you're not already, you could give me a follow on Twitter. I had some fucking fantastic picks. Truly, they were fucking terrific. Let's look. Rodriguez KO, Brito submission or KO, inside the distance. Maximov versus Malkoun decision. Martinez moneyline. This is the only one I lost. This is all I want to point out. This is the only fight prediction we lost out of all the predictions we threw out there. I did have Henry as a solid parlay piece. Unfortunate he didn't win, but was that against Guido Canetti? Who was that against? It just seemed like he was facing an older opponent, and it just seemed like the stage was really set for him to have a great fight, but it didn't happen. Where is it? Oh, Rafaela Sunsao. Yeah. Big time bummer. Yeah, but got a ton of these fights right? Got the first... Dusko was second round KO. Got Jonathan Martinez, that win. Yeah, it seems like Victor Henry was the only fight we got wrong, which isn't bad at all. Pierre Rodriguez, picked Brito, picked Malkoon. Yeah, I don't even... So Moneyline and with our fight predictions, this was really the only fight we got wrong. Victor Henry against the Sun Sao. So definitely a great week of betting. Solid picks, right? But now this week we got to go over Oliveira against Makachev. I'm laboring a little. Abu Dhabi, early tomorrow morning. Get to bed. What the you want to watch UFC? What are you doing up? Huh? 8 a.m. Central Time is when these fights start. They're in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, so I'm not sure when the main card starts, but they're in Abu Dhabi. Here we go. 9 a.m. It's saying prelims are at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. I don't know if that's true. What is that? Am I stupid? What time zone is that? CDT time zone. That's Central Time? Nah, that ain't right, is it? So, I don't know. I heard a lot of people complaining they had to wake up on the West Coast. It's 7 a.m. It's not that early, right? So if the prelims are starting at 7:30 a.m., like West Coast time, that's not early at all. The hell? First fight we've got is Carol Rosa taking on Lena Landsberg. We're going to do a lot of homework and research live here. I just, with the golf outing today, just kind of lost track of time. Carol Rosa had the loss to Sarah McCann, her last fight. Definitely more of the striker in heading into this bout. Just kind of got wrestled by Sarah McCann. Lena Landsberg also has a loss, it looks like, recently to Sarah McCann. And then Pani. I bet on Luque in this fight. I'm just seeing the main card event of this. Muhammad had a terrific performance, and we're going to talk about him later tonight. Lena Landsberg, 40 years old, definitely on the older side of things. And her opponent, Carol Rosa, is a good striker. I think if this fight plays out on the feet, I think it's just going to favor Carol Rosa. I think she's the better overall fighter. If Lena Landsberg's going to win this, she's just going to have to be physically more imposing. I don't really see it happening. I don't know where we got to pull up the odds here. I haven't really looked at the odds. Carol Rosa, heavy favorite, it looks like, at minus 330. Yeah, I would suggest that this fight goes to a decision, but I could definitely see Lena Landsberg getting beat up pretty bad if this fight is just playing out as like a sparring match on the feet. I just perceive her to be very ineffective. I'm guessing the odds makers like it to go the distance too. They do. Minus 250. Fight parlays, yeah, I think something like the Rosa to win late in this fight, third round or decision for minus 150, or if you just want to do the decision for minus 120, I think that's a pretty safe bet. I like Carol Rosa a lot in this. Definitely fading Lena Landsberg in this, just given her last two performances. And I don't perceive her as a grappler. I don't think she's going to have that approach against Rosa, and I think it's going to be a tough fight for her. The next bout we got is Muhammad Makayev taking on Malcolm Gordon. I mean, Muhammad 8-0 professionally. Let's verify that with the Sure Dog. Yeah, 8-0 professionally. Very, very talented. Appears to be talented. He's fighting Malcolm Gordon, who's just... Honestly, we've definitely seen him lose a lot in the UFC. Chinny, coming off of 2 wins here. Chinny in the sense 1, 2, 3 KO losses, 4 KO losses out of 5. So maybe prone to getting knocked out. Taking on Makayev. Honestly, like, Makayev's performance was great against Charles Johnson, who is a much better grappler, in my opinion, than Malcolm Gordon. But, like, it was a pretty unexciting... It wasn't an exciting fight. Pretty much just wrestle-humped him to a 3-round decision for 15 minutes. Wasn't able to... But it was very dominant, you know? No question about it. He was always the one pressing the action in the controlling position. But overall, I wasn't super impressed with Makayev's performance. I think he's going to have an opportunity against Malcolm Gordon here to put him away and win inside the distance. And I really think that's what Muhammad's going to do. We saw the odds, minus 1,250. Muhammad Makayev is definitely a future... 135 is so deep. He's definitely a future contender, right? That's my opinion. He's definitely a contender. I would say the odds makers don't like this one to go the distance. Yeah, minus 280. I think Malcolm's only chance of victory is the KO, plus 2,000 here. I don't recommend betting that at all. I like Muhammad Makayev to win, probably inside the distance here, minus 225. I don't think that's horrible odds. Shit, it's better than... I mean, let's just compare the two. It's better than the money line, right? There's no doubt about it. $1 on minus 225, you're making 44 cents. $1, you're making 8 cents. So you're making 7 times as much, a little over 7 times as much, by just eliminating that decision method of victory. Malcolm Gordon, we're looking at his losses right here. I pulled it up earlier on SureDoc. He's all 5 losses inside the distance. So I just think it kind of really fits what's going on and what's going to happen in this fight. Armin Petrosian taking on AJ Dobson. Interesting fight. I think Armin's only had 1 fight in the UFC, and he is 1-0. No, 0-1. Oh, Baralo. And he does have more, so he's 1-1 in the UFC. Beat Gregory Rodriguez, split decision. That was a tough fight, played out on the feet, and then lost to Baralo, who's just, I respect tremendously, terrific jiu-jitsu artist. Is he fighting tomorrow morning? Yeah, he is. Sick. Yeah, so he's taking on... Armin Petrosian's taking on AJ Dobson. Baralo, he made it the distance with Baralo, which is impressive. AJ Dobson just took the unanimous decision loss to Malkoun, who's definitely one of those control wrestler types. Malkoun is. I think in this fight, the best and easiest path to victory for AJ Dobson is to secure the takedowns. I don't know that he will. Petrosian, obviously, you can see it by the win-by percentage here. Terrific power. So 7... Let's just check it. Check it out. 6 KO victories, 1 decision victory. That was against Gregory Rodriguez. But, yeah, it could be fireworks for Armen Petrosian, in my opinion. And I don't want to pretend like... I don't know how to explain this. Like, I should look up some stats on it, just because otherwise I'm talking out my butt. But when there's London fights, they're trying to put like their London stars in a position to be to gain notoriety and be successful. I think in this case, Petrosian, he is the favorite, and it just makes a lot of sense that he'll perhaps win. I think AJ Dobson hasn't shown a good gas tank in his career. Armen kind of has in that Rodriguez fight. Yeah, I'm going to go with Armen Petrosian in this. I think he can knock out AJ Dobson in maybe the second or third. AJ Dobson's going to be most dangerous early. I don't see him... What are his 6 wins? 3 KO. I don't see him knocking out Petrosian. I could maybe a submission if he's just super dominant in the grappling department, but I am rolling with Armen in this fight. Probably something I would say over a round and a half for Armen. He's minus 205 here. There might be a live bet opportunity because I do think he is going to have the better gas tank. So if AJ Dobson is up after round 1 but starting to huff and puff, just use your eyes. Like, see if he's tired or whatnot. You know, that's maybe a solid spot to bet a little bit on Petrosian, especially if the odds are swinging a little bit more in your favor if you're a Petrosian bettor. Odds makers don't like this one to go the distance, so I'm guessing they like the Petrosian KO a lot. They do. I'll endorse that. I'll say I like the KO. I'm not gonna bet the KO. I would say like Armen and over at plus 140. As I'm, speaking through some of this stuff, it reminds me. Let me find a good landing page. Over here, I've got my Twitter. I'll definitely put together some bets and post them on my Twitter, like I showed you for last week's results. I'll definitely post some free picks there, so if you want to follow me there, I'll definitely do that. I'm gonna say like Petrosian and over a round and a half. I kind of like that. Am I seeing that right? So worst case scenario, we're making what? Right? We're betting 2. We're making 40 cents, right? Worst case scenario. $80 gains? Is that what we're making? 80% gains? So I'm like phrasing this like Armen's for sure gonna win. Like if AJ Dobson wins, obviously neither bet's good, but just an interesting. I don't think we typically see that. It's typically like you're getting points in one direction, giving them in the other. If you're going over under 1.5. So it's just kind of interesting, especially with the high finish rate of Petrosian and the fact that he is the favorite. It's just kind of interesting that the Petrosian and under is actually plus 150. The over is plus 140. I don't know. Kind of interesting. Maybe it has to be a bigger favorite for that to happen, where like one of these two lines would swing negative. I don't know. Very interesting. But going with Petrosian in this fight, probably late, like, over a round and a half. I like that. Abukar Nurmagomedov taking on Garziev. Perfect pronunciation. Very first time. This is a fight I perceive to be like a pick'em. I'm not really, to be perfectly honest, I'm not really sure who's going to be the better grappler in this fight. I think Abukar could be the better striker. I don't know, though. Let's check out Sherdog here. 16, 3, 1, 32 years old. Just beat Jared Gooden. Godzu lost to Baralo. Kind of got wrestle left in that. So maybe I like Abukar, just to potentially be the more dominant grappler in this fight. So maybe he's able to wrestle with Godzi. Definitely not going to bet on this fight. Let's check what the odds makers like. Abukar, I'm going to say a decision, and he's just grappling. If you're doing daily fantasy or something like that, I wouldn't use either of these fighters in that lineup, just because you're not going to get a whole lot of I just don't think you're going to get a whole lot of those miscellaneous points if you don't get a win. You know what I mean? Like the striking, the takedowns, that sort of stuff. I think Abukar makes sense to me to win. Odds makers like this one to go the distance. Yeah, I would say the Abukar decision makes the most sense in my head. The only loss for Godzi was the decision loss to Baralo. Yeah, I'm going to go with Abukar. Just to maybe get, if it makes it to the judges, I just think maybe his style is more favorable as far as a judging perspective goes. Next fight, we've got Volkan Ozdemir taking on Nikita Krylov. Nikita, is this his first top 10 opponent? I mean, he is number 10, so there's a chance he beat... Oh, yeah, he beat Gustafsson, who I'm sure was top 10 at the time. Got caught, it looks like, by Paul Craig, Magomed Makayev is extremely talented. Glover fighting for the belt, split decision loss. Krylov's a dangerous guy. Looks like 27 out of his 28 victories inside the distance. Just an extremely dangerous fighter. He's taking on Volkan Ozdemir, the boxer. Awesome win against... Well, I don't know. It wasn't it wasn't the best performance as far as his dance. As far as Volkan goes, couldn't ask for a better performance, right? Just totally dominant versus Paul Craig, but it just wasn't... It wasn't a great dance partner. Paul Craig could not push through takedowns. I would expect Nikita Krylov at the very least to have a better takedown approach than Paul Craig. It was kind of, he'd shoot for the takedown and then he'd pull guard, and Ozdemir was able to just drop on top of him. So I think I like Nikita Krylov in this spot. I think I like him to hurt Volkan Ozdemir. I think either way, both of these fighters are extremely dangerous. 13 out of Volkan's 18 wins are inside the distance. Terrific boxer. I think inside the distance makes a lot of sense. I'm going to go with Krylov here. He is the favorite at -175. Fight props, they don't like this one to go the distance. So, yeah, with Krylov, it's just, you can see it here. It's just tough to project what method of victory he could win with. Let's check Volkan's losses. 2 KO losses, 2 submission losses, 2 decision losses. So that's not very helpful. I would say like something inside the distance. Krylov +110. That sounds okay to me. That does sound okay. Let's go on to the next bout. So Krylov inside the distance is my prediction. Muratov taking on Baralo. Mahmoud is basically just going to be tasked with defending takedowns. That's his path to victory. Baralo just he's so good at jiu-jitsu. It's a lot of fun to watch. It kind of floors me how good he's been so far in the UFC, just with that grappling approach that he has. Does have a KO victory, but yeah, just extremely dominant in the grappling field. If Mahmoud isn't able to stuff takedowns, it's going to be a tough day for him. He's at 80% takedown defense. Did get submitted by G3 in his last fight, but G3's obviously the jiu-jitsu, an amazing jiu-jitsu artist, and then this guy's got a shit ton of knockouts. Mahmoud. Maybe we should. I think inside the distance is another really safe bet for this. Uzbekistan. I think if Mahmoud isn't going to knock out Baralo, Baralo's probably going to get on his back and choke him out, get that submission victory. I'm going to go with Baralo here. I'm sure he's the favorite just because he is he does have some hype building up behind him. He's a cool cat. -200. I'm guessing the odds makers don't like it to go the distance. -135. It's not bad. I might consider this as a round robin piece. That's pretty appealing. Baralo submission is kind of what I like at +300. Mahmoud KO is what I would like if I was on the Mahmoud side at +330. Yeah. Going with Baralo here. That's kind of what I like. The next fight, just a crazy finale for the prelims. Belal Muhammad, the fucking 5th ranked welterweight, is facing the 8th ranked welterweight. Belal Muhammad taking on Sean Brady. Sean Brady undefeated heading into this fight. He faced Mershart his last fight, or not Mershart, Chiesa his last fight. Chiesa was hurting him on the feet, and that was a little kind of surprising in my opinion. I don't know. This is an interesting fight. I feel like stylistically, if Sean's the better wrestler in this fight, yeah, he can win, but I just don't perceive him to be a better grappler than Belal Muhammad, and I think Belal Muhammad's the better stand-up striker. He was drilling a lot of takedowns in his last 2 fights, but then he had a good striking performance against Damian Maia, and dude's on a long win streak. I think he does carry a lot of what I like about like TJ Dillashaw and some other fighters. I think he carries like a lot of good competitive energy about himself when he steps inside the octagon, and he like does the little things to help him win fights, win decisions. I think this is a step up in competition for Sean Brady. If you struggled against Chiesa on the feet, I think you're going to struggle with the volume of Belal Muhammad 1. And then if you're not the more dominant grappler in this fight, it's just going to be a long day for you if you're Sean Brady, and you're going to get outclassed, is what I think. So I think I'm going to roll with I think this is my first underdog pick of the night. And did he graduate from U of I? Sure. Is he from Rockford? Sure. But I'm going with Belal, remember the name, Muhammad, to win this fight. Likely a decision. Don't get me wrong, I would love for Belal to get some sort of knockout or submission victory. I think the only way Belal kind of wins fights is with decisions and just being savvy as far as output and defense on the feet, and then securing takedowns when he needs to steal rounds. But basically, I'm hanging my hat on Belal Muhammad's IQ in this fight. Mannion Fiorot is awesome. French fighter, just like really fun to watch. Caitlin Chookagian, she's excellent as well. But I want to talk about Mannion first. Undefeated in the UFC. Punches hard. Incredible stand-up. Like really physical for the weight class. Like a lot of things about her. Physical striker. Caitlin Chookagian, definitely more of a striker as well, but she's going to keep stuff on the outside. We saw her fight Ribas back in May. Won via split decision. I think this is a bad matchup for Caitlin Chookagian. If I'm looking at Caitlin Chookagian, I'm wanting, maybe a grappler that I could perhaps stuff takedowns on. Not the best takedown defense, but I'm looking for someone short for sure. I think the measurables are more even for this one than Chookagian typically has. She likes to fight with that outside approach, win decisions. Mannion, I just imagine closing that space, trying to land her shots, probably not respecting Chookagian's power a whole lot as she's pressing forward in this fight. I really like Fiorot here in this spot. Fiorot, I've talked about her, like, held her in high esteem for a while. I think she's a really good fighter, and she might she might be my new favorite as far as women's fighters. I still like Rose, but that fight versus Esparza was rough. I like Rose a lot, but yeah, just losing to Esparza in that manner was tough. Just checking on our money line prediction here. I did put up a poll if you want to answer. It looks like Islam, 67% of people who voted, they like Islam tomorrow so far. We're getting there. Let's do the odds breakdown. I'm sure Mannion's the favorite here. Here we go. Minus 215. I like Mannion a lot. Like, I don't know. I just watch her fight and she can hurt someone for sure. I'm sure the odds makers like it to go the distance. Yes. Chookagian, 2 KO losses. Who? Andrade, Body, Shevchenko. I mean, I think that's where Mannion's heading, her next fight, right? Is Chookagian number 2 or 1? Yeah, I think Mannion's right there. She's fighting Shevchenko for her next fight. If she wins this. Super impressed with Mannion. And I'd be excited with that fight announcement. Mannion against Shevchenko. I think that would be awesome. An awesome fight. So I'm going to go with Mannion. I'm going to go with... I got to make a prediction, right? Decision, that's an option. KO decision, minus 190 versus minus 215. If I had to guess, I would say... If I had to make a prediction on the result, I would say Mannion, Fiorot, maybe round... I'm going to say round 2 KO. I don't think she's going to, crack Caitlin with anything in the first round that's necessarily going to, put Caitlin away. But I think Mannion does carry knockout power and has a tremendous stand-up approach and could probably land her shot, even from a distance. This is an interesting fight. We've got Beneil Darius taking on Mateusz Gamrot. Beneil coming off of injury, some sort of, I think, knee surgery. Let's just check what he's done recently. On a win streak. Not a great loss to a couple of guys here, but is on a win streak. That's very fair to say. Yeah, I mean, he's a good fighter, well-rounded. He's taking on Mateusz Gamrot, who does carry some solid power. And, I mean, I think in this fight, I would expect Mateusz to be the favorite. He's just been maybe more dominant so far in the promotion. Does have that split decision loss, but otherwise, a flawless career. Was sitting on stage with his shirt off at the press conference. Kind of a cool look, right? Chiesa lost, Barbosa lost, Hernandez lost. Not to say that he's the same fighter. But I think we've seen Beneil get hurt, and I think Mateusz probably hurts him in this fight. That's my honest opinion. I would say Mateusz and something inside the distance. I think we've been saying a lot of I've been making a lot of inside the distance predictions. I just think, I think this fight is Gamrot KO plus 350. Maybe it's more of a club and sub plus 600, but I kind of like the Mateusz Gamrot inside the distance plus 225 here. Great fight. If Beneil wins this, I just would expect Beneil to get the next shot. I know, what's his face is there, Volkanovski, let me know what you think in the chat. My personal opinion on Volkanovski is like, the 155-pound division is so stacked that, like, he could have a money fight really against anyone in that weight class. I think it would be a huge fight just because there's so much star power in that division, whether it's Charles, Islam, Poirier, Justin, Chandler, Conor, name it. Well, Conor's not going to come back to 155, I don't think. But name it. Like, he could fight anyone, and it would be a big fight. And then he could almost fight for that number one contender spot, like Beneil Darius is, like Mateusz Gamrot is. Like, it just wouldn't sit right with me if Volkanovski skipped the line over Darius and Gamrot, got that shot. I'm okay with him getting the shot over Gaethje, over Chandler, regardless of what the outcome is this weekend. I think it makes a lot of sense, maybe like more sense with Charles, if Charles wins. If Islam wins, he's got 0 wins against top 10 opponents. Like, he has to fight in the top 10. So that's just my thought on it. Next fight we've got is Peter Yan taking on Sean O'Malley. Yan he might be the second biggest favorite on the card. I would just like to check that out. So Rosa, heavy favorite. Makayev is going to be the heaviest favorite. Only minus 275. Wow. This is an interesting fight in the sense, like, I think people are definitely writing off Sean. Like, Sean's going to get KO'd. Sean's going to get finished in this fight. I think Peter Yan makes a lot of sense just because he has faced a higher level of competition. I think it's like definitely a great sound prediction to make, like, oh, he's gonna win this fight. But I don't know, I just don't like believe that Sean's not gonna be a problem on the feet in this bout. I think he could definitely show Peter Yan I think he could give him some problems on the feet. And I think Peter Yan does have a clear path to victory, and it's not on the feet. That's what I'll say. I think I'm going to go with, on this prediction, Peter Yan to win via decision, via the Russell hump. And I hope... I'll probably sprinkle a little bit on a Sean O'Malley KO, to be honest. We'll look at the odds here. I haven't looked at them at all. I don't know. I don't perceive Peter Yan knocking out Sean O'Malley on the feet. Maybe he does. Fight props, they do like this one to go the distance. Winning method. Yeah, the O'Malley KO is plus 550. I don't know if I like that so much. O'Malley and yeah, I don't know. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I would. Maybe I would do O'Malley KO decision. If I was gonna bet O'Malley, let's see what that's at. O'Malley KO decision plus 240 compared to plus 230. Yeah, probably. Forget I mentioned betting maybe the O'Malley KO. I don't love it at plus 550, and it would suck to watch Sean win a decision if he had money on him for the KO. I think Giannis, so Giannis definitely my pick. I think he's going to win a decision. That's just my honest opinion. I think minus 110 decision. Gets a couple takedowns. Does Sean... I don't know if Sean earns any respect if Peter Yan wins and it's just taking him down. It'll probably be like, yeah, Sean's got to work on that. He's got to figure it out. But, yeah, I would say, though, Peter Yan hasn't ever really been a takedown artist. So, I'm going to avoid this fight just because I don't want to be on the wrong side of, like, a Sugar Show knockout. Yeah, I mean, I think Peter Yan's going to have to fight. I'm not even concerned about, like, him being a notoriously slow fighter. I'm just more concerned about him, like, not... he is an elite striker in his own right, elite boxer, Peter Yan, but just, like, if you're not mentally able to determine the easiest path to victory, the path of least resistance, and exploit that in MMA, I don't know, like, it's just low IQ at that point, right? So I think Peter Yan has a clear path to victory, and it involves takedowns. We'll see what plays out on Saturday. Probably avoiding that fight. If I had to make a prediction of inside the distance or it to go outside the distance, I would say it does go the distance just because I'm picking Peter to win. Oops. I almost opened up my a trader. Next fight, we've got the co-main, Aljamain Sterling taking on TJ Dillashaw. Aljo, coming off the back-to-back victories against Peter Yan. Obviously, first fight wasn't good. Gets kneed while he has 3 points of contacts. Limbs on the ground. Illegal strike by Peter Yan. And then he just kind of backpacked Peter Yan in the last fight. I don't know. When this fight was first announced, I was like all over TJ Dillashaw. I'm like, this guy's well-rounded. He's got the wrestling base. Like, he's going to have no problem with the Aljamain Sterling. But, I mean, there's no denying, like, Aljamain's grappling it's elite for the division. It's elite for the sport. And I think we definitely need to respect Aljamain's wrestling. I don't know if he's necessarily going to get on TJ's back, and for that reason, I think my prediction is going to be TJ Dillashaw to win the belt, become the bantamweight title holder again, and that'll just be a spectacular narrative that'll play out, with his maybe immediate first defense shot against the winner of Yan versus O'Malley. You got Cheeto Vera. You've got, so many great fighters in that division. So, Charles Oliveira taking on Islam Makachev. This is the main fight. I don't know. There's a lot of animosity between the fans of these two guys, and I just would like to see, I think, how do I say this? I think I would like to see Islam lose. I'm going to pick Islam on my moneyline prediction. At the end of the day, I've tried to be transparent in the past, I'm picking with my heart or whatever. I think Islam, his approach is just it's a tough approach for a fighter like Charles, who's I think extremely dangerous against striking opponents. I think he's extremely dangerous against grapplers in general, but I can't see Charles catching Islam with a submission. I could see Charles knocking Islam out if any extended time is played out on the feet. I just don't see any scenario where Charles secures a takedown, pulling guard for a guillotine, or he's in full guard, half guard, and he's throwing up armbar attempts. I just don't see him catching Islam with that. I am curious if Islam is capable of putting away Charles. I think that could be a dangerous wrinkle in the Islam side of this bet. If Islam's not able to put away Charles, what does round 4 Islam look like against Charles Oliveira? I don't know. I do think Islam is the sensible bet, and if Charles comes out there and knocks him out, I'll probably lose some money, but I think the smart bet is to do Islam here. I just want to express that I think both of these guys are great fighters, but I think it's just, I don't know, there's just something I don't care for about that, the grapple heavy approach. But I mean, if it wins you fights, it wins you fights, and I think that's what Islam's gonna do. He's gonna take down Charles. He's gonna be in advantageous positions. He's confident he's gonna submit Charles. I don't see that happening. I like the over 2.5 because I'm betting Islam. I think I like the decision because I'm betting Islam. KO at plus 300. That's I couldn't disagree more. I think this KO should be worth Charles's decision plus 1,200. Maybe you make this plus 300. Charles via KO, the plus 550, and via decision. I just don't see any scenario really where Islam is knocking out Charles, even ground and pound. I just don't see it happening. I think Charles, we've seen it, he'll hug his opponent, he'll keep him from being able to land significant shots, he'll look at the ref, and if you're fighting in top control in Charles's guard and you're being conservative, he's gonna try and pull you out of a conservative approach, you know? He's gonna hold you. He's gonna hold your arms under his pits. He's gonna hug around your neck, around your upper back, keep you close, keep you from posturing up. That's what he's gonna do. And then he's going to look at the ref. I don't think Charles really has great stand-up after he's taken down. So, I'm glad I waited to bet on this because Islam was a heavy favorite heading into this. What's he at now? Minus 190. He was like minus 350 when this fight was announced. So, I could see like myself maybe putting some money on Charles if he's like plus 400 or plus 275 odds even. But just under this current scenario that we're looking at, I like Islam. I like him a lot. That's where I'm at. We got trending topics to go over. Oh, first I gotta throw out some picks I really like, right? As I mentioned before, I've got my Twitter posted right here. If you just want to, you don't have to follow me, but there's my Twitter. I post my picks for free, so you can come check it out. I'll post them. They're typically pretty easy to decipher. Oh, let's hear what Connor's saying.
Like fucking steel. I'm built like fucking steel. I'm built like fucking steel.
Hell yeah. Connor is goofy. What the fuck? So I'll post it in this format. I usually do some single line bets. I talk about like a round robin strategy. Typically it's only 2 and 3 pick parlays that I'm risking. It's 120 total bets per line. In this case, because there were 9 lines, it'd be less if there's less bets. But and then I'll highlight some parlay pieces. That's how I'm gonna do it. Some anchors, if you will. Henry minus 410 there. Bad lost. So what I ended up doing with this was I did a round robin again and just did 2 fight parlays here. And the thought process behind that is like, not only are you not playing favorites, so you're not risking more. I mean, it's up to you, right? I'm just trying to remove as much emotion from this decision as possible, if that makes any sense. So you you take all these fights, all 5 of them, you risk the same amount on your bets. If you lose one of them, which we did, we only lost one of them, you're still walking away with a fuck ton of money. You know what I mean? So I'll definitely post my picks. So just give me a follow. Let's see. I think Muhammad should win inside the distance. I would say that's a parlay piece that I really enjoy. Let's see what else. What other stuff we got going on here? I love Baralo. I'm throwing Baralo in there. I love Baralo. I love Fiorot here in this spot. I feel like there's some value, like really good value on Bilal Muhammad. Maybe that's not a parlay piece just because, like, we just don't know how that fight necessarily plays out. I do think instead of Baralo, he's minus 200. maybe the safe pick here is the fight doesn't go the distance at minus 135. You're just getting a little bit better odds, especially in the parlay situations. It gets enunciated a little bit more. I like Matea's Gamrot a lot. I'm kind of staying away from the Peter Yan Sean O'Malley fight. I'm just like in my head right now. I'm just like I'm betting so much money on the Sugar Show. Fucking stupid. Do not do that. Do not. I think that's a bad move. I'll probably do Islam, TJ Dillashaw, Gamrot, Fiorot, Baralo, maybe Armin, Muhammad inside the distance, like I said. Probably Rosa via decision or something, third rounder decision. I know that's a parlay piece in the Draftkings lines. But, yeah, let's get on to trending topics. Let's wrap up the show. It's pretty late. It's, we've been on for about an hour. Let's wrap it up. I just need to check on my beloved. San Diego's down 4-2. What's going on with my ESPN? This is... Here we go. So I did play some bets tonight. I bet on the Bulls, and my beloved Bulls lost. Oh no! Why isn't Zach LaVine healthy? What's up with Zach LaVine? He's sitting out with a knee-related thing. He had off-season knee surgery. I hope he gets on the court soon. I would like to see Patrick Williams step up a bit. Io, I mean, if you're in that starting spot playing 31 minutes, you gotta be getting double-digit points. Same with Patrick, honestly. Like, Patrick's just he's gotta step it up a bit. He looks like a tank, Patrick Williams. He looks like a tank out there. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Not a horrible defensive showing. Kind of worry about that with the Bulls. But 102-100. Close game. Bet on the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans are going to be real good this year. Ooh, I should give my NBA projections, right? I think the Warriors are going to represent the West. I think the Bucks are going to represent the East. I texted my buddy that the Nets, I think, are going to represent the East, but I think the Bucks are. I mean, that seems more sensible, in my opinion. I think our MVP is going to be Luka. I think he's just in a terrific position to put up stats, make the playoffs, potentially walk away with the MVP trophy. Bigfoot or a Yeti? I'm going to go with Bigfoot. And the reason I'm going to go with Bigfoot is because I think the Northwest forest is pretty dense. I don't know. I haven't really explored China or Russia either. I think those forests are pretty dense. I think there's a possibility that there's some sort of primate that lives in those regions, and so I'm going to go with Bigfoot, just because I think he's more likely to be real. Yetis are cool, but I associate them more with, like, cold weather, and I don't think they'll they'll win. Hunter, what is over under Nuggets W? Are we talking about the Denver Nuggets tonight? I mean, I would say it's going over. Whatever. What was it at? I mean, that's 74 points in the first quarter. Yeah, I mean, that's a fuck ton of points they're on pace for. I would say that goes over. Yeah, Denver's... I think that game goes over. I do think in this spot, however, like, the only thing about Denver is I do think a lot of their players are, like, Porter Jr. Is Murray even playing tonight? Yeah, he's not. So I think the Warriors are maybe in a spot to come back. I mean, I don't think the Warriors have the best defense in the world, but 40 points in a quarter, come on now. Yeah, I'm gonna actually sprinkle them a little bit, just with like $20 here. The Warriors. But if you place that bet beforehand, Hunter, amazing, incredible. I would be feeling amazing right now. Dino Nuggets. Wins for Nuggets this year. Also, go back to Julia's comment about beginners live stream. Can I do a beginner show for new bettors, all sports? Yeah, I would be happy to. We could just dive into a sports book of your choice, whether it's DraftKings, FanDuel, Rivers Casino, or whatever. Hollywood. All these different companies have their own apps. If you wanted to, I use DraftKings. I really like the interface of it. I think it's easy to use. Pretty straightforward, but yeah, I mean, we could walk through sports, like what a spread is, what the over-under is, what money lines are, because this is something you see across all sports. So you'll see a spread in baseball and an over-under. You'll see that in basketball, UFC, boxing, tennis. Some of those sports are more unique, different, but we could definitely walk through betting for beginners. I would be happy to do that. Yeah, that's no problem. Let's see. If I had to do a food eating contest, what food would I choose? It's a good question, Hunter. I'm thinking, like, there's food. Like, I'm pretty sure I could eat a lot of goldfish relative to the normal human being. I think I would be very competitive in a goldfish cracker eating competition and contest. But as far as, like, just consuming, like, a ton of something, you want it to be good, right? You don't want to eat a lot of something that's bad. And I think I would enjoy most eating large amounts of think chicken wings. I would enjoy eating a lot of chicken wings. Wins for the Denver Nuggets this year. West is deep. 82 games in a year. I mean, I could see the Denver Nuggets winning, I would say, 52 games. Maybe finishing... I think they finished 6th last year, and I think there's been some teams that were below them that have made significant improvements in strides, specifically the Timberwolves, the the Pelicans was another team. I do think that missed the playoffs. They're going to make it. Pelicans, I don't know. Let's just pull it up. Clippers are going to be greatly improved. I'm going to... let me do it with you here. I thought I had it pulled up, but I realize now I'm looking in the wrong... Let's do, here we go, NBA standings. Yeah, so the Timberwolves, I think, are much improved. Clippers are much improved. Blazers obviously have Damian back, but I don't think they're as good as the Nuggets. And then Lakers, wherever you perceive them to be. I think the Nuggets could finish top 4 is probably where I have them. I would put the Warriors, Warriors, Grizzlies, and I would put the Nuggets up there with like the Clippers, T-Wolves, Pelicans. I'd say like 48 or 50 games is where I'd put the Nuggets at, right in that range, John. I do think, I just think, like there's going to be a little bit of adjustment as some of their players come back healthy. I don't necessarily think they're going to be worse than last year, but I think the West is pretty deep. I think the East is deep. I think the league is just extremely deep. So, yeah, out the East, I think, like as a dark horse, the Nets, I just think they have terrific talent. I just think there's just something weird going on with the team as far as like culture, and you just question if players are going to be invested for 8 months here. The Bucks, I think, are the safe pick. I would probably go Bucks, Celtics, Sixers, Nets, Heat, Bulls 6, Cavs 7, Hawks 8. I'm not a big believer in I think the Hawks are a playoff team. I just don't think Murray turns them into an elite team. Maybe Raptors. I do think the Raptors take a step back this year. And then the last playoff team, play-in playoff, Hornets, Wizards. I mean, I think it'll be competitive in the East. I really do think it'll be competitive. West Conference, I'll probably go Warriors, Grizzlies, Suns. I'll go T-Wolves here, Clippers here, Mavs 6. Oh shit, I'm skipping over the Nuggets here. Nuggets 7. Damn. I think the Nuggets will be... Sorry, I'm going to push the T-Wolves down. So I'm going to go... I said Warriors, Grizzlies, Suns. I'm going to go Nuggets here. 4-seed Nuggets. I'm going to go 5-seed Mavericks. I'm going to go 6-seed Clippers. 7-seed Pelicans. 8-seed Timberwolves. 9-seed Kings. 10-seed Lake Show. 11 probably Trailblazers. I think the Trailblazers miss. I don't think you can win with just D. Lillard. But, yeah, let me just check and see if I've got any more questions here. If not, I'm going to call it a night and probably post some pics on Twitter. Is LeBron MVP caliber? If the Lakers won the 1 seed, given this entire narrative, we've said about this team, like, everyone's a bad fit, given the depth of the league at this stage, like, yeah, if the Lakers are a top 3 seed in the West, like, LeBron is going to be in the MVP conversation. I don't see the Lakers being super competitive this year, which is unfortunate given LeBron's age. There's a lot of players that are going to put up great stats on bad teams, and I don't think LeBron. I think the team success aspect is going to remove LeBron from the MVP conversation. I really like Luka this year. Last year my pick was Embiid. I think Embiid, Giannis, Jokic, like, are all great favorites, and the fact that their odds are better than Doncic's, like, I mean, that's worth it if you're looking to gamble on it. But I just think Luka and his team, they lost Jalen Brunson, arguably their second best player. They added Christian Wood. I think they added another shooter in, like, maybe Matt Bonner or something like that, but made it to the Western Conference Finals. I kind of perceive them in the same light as I perceived the Hawks a couple years ago, maybe a little overachieving when they made it there, but I think Luka is just primed for a monster campaign. Jokic won it. The Nuggets were like the 6th seed. I think Luka's just... I think he's just going to be putting up some crazy statistical numbers. And if they're able to make the playoffs, you can look at almost any team out in the West, right? And say, let's see, standings here. Like, in the West, I could say, like, Pelicans. They've got Zion, CJ, Ingram. Let's do the teams I projected to be top. Warriors. Look at, like, Steph Curry, obviously, is amazing, but look at his cast, his supporting cast. Clippers. Amazing roster. Suns. Same thing. And then you just look at the Mavs, and it's like... It almost reminds me of, like, the old, like the Thunder when they lost, like, KD and Harden. Like, you just start surrounding your ball handler with a ton of shooting ability. You're putting good defenders on the court. And, you're just trying to be more efficient than your opponent. Like, that's kind of what the Mavericks remind me of at this point. So I like Luka to win MVP. Let's see, any other questions? I think that's probably it. Is LeBron MVP caliber? Maybe. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I'm going to figure out, like I said, I need to draw a winner. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I've got 10 people viewing this right now. Thanks for tuning in. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel. I'm doing an NFT giveaway. I just hit a major milestone for my channel. It's 50 subscribers. I'm really excited about it. I'll do another one at 100 subscribers, and I'm going to just keep giving away these UFC Strike NFTs. I'll pull it up here just to share it with you. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll automatically get qualified to win. I'm waiting on some account consolidation and get my Chris Barnett moment in here. But I do have duplicates. That's where I'm going to start. But I'm going to give away these UFC Strike NFTs one at a time, just as I meet certain milestones. So I appreciate you supporting the channel. I appreciate you tuning in. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out, I got my mouse here hovering over my Twitter. I'll post my bets there if you're interested in seeing what I post. Trending topics. Yeah, let's knock these out real quick. We've got WWE, AEW. What's the score of this baseball game? Is it still... Yeah, it's still 4-2. Soto. Are you kidding me, John Morant? What did he do?
But the tap comes to Jalen Green. Doesn't have numbers. Steps through. Oh, Durant blocked the shot. You've got to be kidding me. But the tap comes to Jalen Green. Doesn't have numbers. Steps through. Oh, Durant blocked the shot. You've got to be kidding me. But the tap comes to Jalen.
Display. Man. Yeah, Joe Musgrove's been a beast this year. I put a little money on Joe in the under in that game. It doesn't look like it's gonna hit. It's okay. Looks like some NBA's twittering, or you know what I mean, trending, and yeah, I don't know. Should we get in trouble? Should we get into politics? Let's do news. A pilot shares a video of strange UFO sightings.
Let's talk about those videos that are definitely going to spark
aerial phenomena. That's what NASA calls them, buzzing around the U.S. skies and coastlines.
All right, so of course we needed to call on NBC's Gotti Schwartz to check.
Sorry.
cables across the country.
Yeah, so check this out. Look closely here. Reportedly, this captured by commercial airline pilots appear to show so-called unidentified aerial phenomena. That's what NASA calls them, buzzing around the U.S. skies and coastlines.
All right, so of course we needed to call on NBC's Gotti Schwartz to check out what's going on. Hey, Gotti, morning.
Hey, guys, I know what a lot of people are thinking. They're seeing those videos and they're like, wait, what is that? But you got to know that we're talking to pilots, very trained pilots. And we just talked to a pilot. Before we tell you his story, you should know this guy is a former fighter pilot. He's a helicopter pilot, jet fighter instructor, has several degrees in things like meteorology. Oh, and before all this, he never really...
I'm not going to entertain that. I believe in aliens, but I don't know. Elon's deal for Twitter is going through next week. Kind of speaks. He's going to fire, arguably. They talk about 75% of the employees. So it's. I mean, it's just crazy how inefficient the company was. Just kind of interesting to hear they could cut 75% of their staff. What's Ethereum doing? Interesting day from the market. I just wanted to see Ethereum. I mean, so this hit a low of 880 back in June, I'm guessing, like Bitcoin did. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, probably not a horrible entry, but, you know, I think there's a lot of downside in the market still. But yeah, basically, if we're looking at overall market, S&P 500, QQQ, let's do QQQ. You can see it. Oops. Let's delete that line. You can see the QQQ traces pretty identical to the SPY here. But yeah, I mean, in short, I just I love to talk about this. You know, we talk about gambling and stuff. The stock market's kind of a gamble, right? But it's also very psychological and reflective of where we're at. Like as an economy right now, interest rates are getting hiked, so there's less opportunity to buy and invest into things. So you're seeing, since interest rate hikes were announced, we're just on a downward trajectory. The Fed's just announced that they're going to continue to hike interest rates, and they're going to increase that by 0.75%, which we've known for a couple of weeks here. So that'll push us to is that 1.5% hikes they're going to do, or 1.25? I think they priced in 1.5% hikes. So anything less, I would expect the market to shoot up. But probably short-lived. Anything more, like, you know, probably to the, where is this, 400, I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably like 400 here for the S&P. Anything more or less, it'll just continue. Anything, if the interest rates are lower, it'll go up. If it's higher, or 1.5, it'll probably continue along this downtrend here. So I've got a VIXI position, which is a volatility index. I'm just looking to capture, and you can see it kind of moves inversely to the broad market. You see when the broad market goes up, this is dipping down, and so it tracks volatility. I'm just looking to capture basically this gap down here. So I thought we hit it here, and you can see on 1013 here, the market just tanked and then it lifted itself back up. But I'm trying to capture this movement from I'm going to make this big screen real quick just so I can, this move from probably 350 to 325 there is what I'm looking to capture. So yeah, and then that'll shoot up the price of VIXI. And then there's a lot of cool, like ARK Investments, this Cathie Woods ETF. If you look at it, it's down 75% year to date. It hit lows that it hasn't seen in 5 years. I've been using trading signals and trading, an ETF that's the exact opposite of her plays, which is SARK. And you can see it's just been on a steady upcline here. So it's just, I don't know, the market's super interesting. I really enjoy this 1348 strategy where you're literally just looking at lines, and as this yellow line crosses over the green line, and you can color code these how you want, it's a buy signal. As soon as it dips below, it's a sell signal. So I'm still keeping this position open. I'm up, 15% while the market's down. It's just beautiful to understand, have a strategy that makes money when the market's going down. It's kind of cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. I appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. It was great participation. Stock on Hasbulla fighting in the UFC. He'll get thrown out of the cage. That's my opinion. That's my prediction. First round, dumped over the side of the cage, disqualified. Maybe Hasbulla wins that, though, because it is a DQ. Alright, everyone, if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I'm going to sign off, though. It's been great. Appreciate you tuning in. Peace.